So if you guys remember a couple days back, I actually did a video regarding Warner Brothers and their talks with J.K. Rowling, supposedly wanting to make a new series for Harry Potter, basically a reboot kind of a series. And we were talking about what they could possibly do with it to make it interesting and fresh, but at the same time not ruin it. And not that I have a lot of faith in what Warner Brothers can do, even though they were the ones who initially had Harry Potter and they did it back in the day. But it was different times. There was different ideologies going around in Hollywood. So obviously, it just wouldn't be the same as Warner Brothers back in the day like it is now. But when it comes to Harry Potter, it holds a special place in my heart because I love Harry Potter. But apparently, there is a new rumor coming out that Warner Brothers Discovery is going to reboot the Harry Potter film franchise, not a TV series. So they're planning to redo all the movies. And this wouldn't surprise me at all because they seem to think that Harry Potter is going to be easy money for them. And they definitely want to invest in rebooting it to try to get as much money as they possibly can. So David Zaslav, knowing his obsession with Harry Potter and certain other IPs, seems like Harry Potter is going to be the next iteration to get a reboot in the nonstop wokification of reboots going on right now in Hollywood. So, as it says from the part bounding into comics, it says a new rumor claims that Warner Brothers Discovery will reboot the Harry Potter film franchise. Then it says this new rumor comes to the heels of Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav indicating he wanted to pursue the Harry Potter franchise during the company's 2022 Q3 earnings call. Back in November, Zaslav responded to the question from Wells Fargo analyst Stephen Cahall, telling him, "One, we're going to have a real focus on franchises. We haven't had a Superman movie in 13 years. We haven't done a Harry Potter movie in 15 years. One of the DC movies and the Harry Potter movies provided a lot of the profits of Warner Brothers Motion Pictures over the last 25 years. So focused on the one of the big advantages that we have, House of the Dragon is an example of that. Game of Thrones taking advantage of Sex and the City, Lord of the Rings, we still have the right to do the Lord of the Rings movies." He later added, "And so when you have a franchise movie, you can often make 2 to 3 times the amount of money you make in the US because you get a slot. And a focus on the big movies that are loved, that are tentpole, that people are going to leave early from dinner to go see. And we have a lot of them. Batman, Superman, Aquaman. If we can do something with JK on Harry Potter going forward, Lord of the Rings, what are we doing with Game of Thrones? What are we doing with a lot of the big franchises that we have? We're focused on franchises." Now, I really do think that if they come out with a brand new Harry Potter franchise, like in terms of movies, I do think they're going to completely fuck it up. I don't think they're going to do it right. I'm pretty sure it's going to have a ton of identity politics. I would almost guarantee they're going to race swap a bunch of characters. And that's even in today's regime, okay? That's even in David Zaslav regime. I would almost guarantee that that's still going to happen. I don't have faith that they're going to be able to do what they did with Harry Potter back in the day. I don't think they're going to be able to do it now. The magic of storytelling overall is pretty much gone. They don't have that magic anymore because for these companies, it's not about the magic of storytelling anymore. It's not about captivating audiences and getting them to remember this for a lifetime. That's not what it's about anymore. Movies just don't have that anymore. It's very few and far between, and you gotta have to sift through and find it in order to get it. But if you don't look for it, you're not gonna find it. It's just not as readily available like it was before. And unfortunately, I do think that's going to happen with Harry Potter, which is sad because, like I said, I'm a big fan of Harry Potter. I was a big fan of the books before the movies even came out. And then when the movies came out, I was all for it. It was fantastic. I was having such a great time with it. And I don't think they're going to do it right. I really don't. I have no faith. It's sad, but I really don't. It says nearly 2 months after these comments, this new rumor about the Harry Potter film franchise getting rebooted comes from known scooper and leaker WDW Pro. He posted a Twitter, "WBD is reporting looking to reboot the Harry Potter film franchise, including recasting in the next 3 to 5 years. We will release some details of how I became aware of this information presented by a source on the Valiant Renegade channel tomorrow morning," he concluded. Now, one thing about these rumors is that I really am starting to believe that a lot of these rumors are bullshit. I really am, because some of these rumors that are coming out, it seems like they're just simply to draw traffic to the channels that are releasing the rumors. So they're kind of like creating the news instead of reporting on the news, kind of a thing, right? So after a while, if your entire shtick is about creating news, then you have to keep creating news. And I don't think that these rumors really have a lot of validity to it. Some of them do, some of them don't. Some of them have been proven false, some of them have been proven true. It just depends. But a lot of rumors, especially from Warner Brothers and DC, a lot of rumors have been coming out lately, and a lot of them just seem to be almost forced. Like, it's just, there's way too many rumors. It's starting to get to a point where you got to think, okay, is there a big mole in Warner Brothers, or are they just doing this to try to stir up headlines? You kind of have to question it. I don't know about those channels. Like I said, I'm just saying that it just seems a little too convenient. It says on Valiant Renegade's channel, WDW Pro reiterated the rumor. "It now seems extremely likely that the Harry Potter universe, which I think internally is called the Wizarding Division, is receiving a a reboot in the future in terms of the movies, and that may also include recasting some of the roles that have become iconic inside the Harry Potter universe with the major actors and characters he added. WDW Pro then clarified this will be a new adaptation of J.K. Rowling's first 7 Harry Potter novels. We're not talking about fantastical beats. We're not talking about some of these ancillary Harry Potter things. We're talking about what is referred to inside the industry as core Harry Potter. Valiant Renegade then made it even clearer. You're looking at the original cast: Harry, Hermione, Ron, new cast, starting over. However, later in the video, WDW Pro indicated it might not be a straight reboot. The way they reboot this franchise does not have to be your standard fair reboot, where we go back to the origin of the character we've already had an adventure with. There are many different ways they could do that, and we're not here to tell you that we know what it is yet. They're not even close, I would think, to being at that point, he continued. In fact, according to the source, they don't have any sort of the James Gunn individual yet in charge of this. That's part of what they're aiming for. As for why they would be completely rebooting, Valiant Renegade posited they feel like perhaps the original Harry Potter fandom is kind of aging out, and they want to revitalize or refresh this or make something new to drive new audience theaters. WDW Pro further added, from this standpoint of the OG stuff, the core Harry Potter stuff, I mean, it's a dormant franchise, and that's particularly why we are being told there in the next 3 to 5 years they are looking to reboot this thing. I don't think Harry Potter is a dormant franchise at all. I think Harry Potter is extremely strong in terms of a franchise. I don't think it's dormant. I think that, yes, they haven't done anything particularly new outside of Fantastic Beasts, but they don't have to. Harry Potter is such an established brand that they really don't have to do too much in order to keep their names relevant. Harry Potter is a very strong brand, so I think calling it a dormant franchise, I think is going a little bit too far in my opinion. But then again, maybe he meant it in the sense of they haven't released a lot of content regarding Harry Potter. Then yeah, I guess in that aspect, it's dormant. But Harry Potter just lives on in so many different avenues. It says because of all this stuff, other inside stuff, this Potter universe inside of the Wizarding division at Warner Bros. Discovery, it's not taking off the way that they need to in order to sustain the franchise, he elaborated, and they have far too much invested in the franchise for it to become dormant or secondary. They want it to be a very strong evergreen property, and by that we mean it's selling all the time and it's always a top mind of consumers. But the thing is, it is. Like, Harry Potter is one of those evergreen properties that are always on the mind of consumers. Anytime they go somewhere and they see Harry Potter, they immediately get excited. I mean, I loved going to the Harry Potter store in the city. I thought it was fucking fantastic. So I don't understand what he's saying when it comes to dormancy. If you want to claim dormancy for content, then yeah, I'll give you that. But if you want to claim dormancy in terms of relevance, then no, I don't think that's right at all. It says, and because they have not been able to get the other stuff, these sort of secondary things off the ground and gain that momentum that they had with the originals, the thinking that they have is that it's time for Hollywood to get over this fear of recasting, and so they're ready to do that, he asserted. And yeah, listen, if you're gonna do a new Harry Potter series, you absolutely would want to recast. Like, you can't use the original actors. They're obviously too old. You can't use Daniel Radcliffe, so why would you want to do that? You can't use Emma Watson. So yeah, you would obviously want to recast, but if you're gonna do a reboot, you got to do a reboot. You know what I mean? Do the whole thing the right way. But the thing is, when they do a reboot, they start using terms like taking creative liberties, and when they do take creative liberties and they start to stray away, if J.K. Rowling lets them stray away too much, which she might because she is a hardcore leftist, there's a good chance that it's not going to be what it used to be. So if you're a fan of Harry Potter, I would look at this rumor with extreme caution like I am and take it with a grain of salt. And let's see what they decide to do in the coming years. And if they do something good, I'll be the first one to say it because I fucking love that franchise. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know your today's story, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.